the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue, and Bread Reimagined. All right, I get it. This is kind of cheating. I totally understand. But these shoes are both fire, and I feel like I like these shoes both equally. And both of these colorways are OG colorways, like OG Air Jordan 4s. This one, maybe not so much because it's a reimagined version, but still the colorway itself is OG. And in terms of hype, they both seem pretty similar. And like I said before, it's really hard to fit all my favorite sneaker pickups of the year and sneaker releases of the year in one top 10 video, so I'm gonna lump some of them together like these, and I feel like that's fair. And it's my list, so I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care what you say. So the Military Blue 4s were the most recent release of the two. This shoe comes in a white leather upper accented by blue hits, and the reason I love this OG colorway, besides the fact that it's a classic piece of Jordan history, is because you don't get a lot of blue Jordan 4s. I mean, you do get some blue Jordan 1s and some blue Jordan 3s. I mean, I guess there's blue Jordans for pretty much every model, but they're harder to come by than black and red or white and red Jordans. So this pair is one of my most worn pairs from this year. You can see it's pretty beat, not beat, but dirty. Dirty for sure. And I love to throw this shoe on. It's super easy to rock with shorts or long pants. It doesn't matter. Same sort of thing goes for the Bread Reimagined. I don't wear these as much, I'll be honest with you. However, they still look very clean. You still got the classic bread colorway. The only difference, obviously, between this and the actual OGs is the fact that they switched out the nubuck upper, or I guess the suede upper, to a leather upper, which I don't think is a bad change. I actually really like the way the shoe looks. The black is clean, very wearable, and you've got your red hits, and it's a relatively comfortable pair of super retro Jordans. I'd say about as comfortable as the 3s, which to be fair aren't that comfortable if you guys saw my top 10 Air Jordan comfort list. But they both feature the Nike Air on the heel, and they both apparently are similar to the OG shape. Apparently, I don't know how true that actually is, but I always take when brands say that with a grain of salt, because realistically, do people even want the OG shape? I don't know. I do, but not everybody does, so I think they're trying to give people the best of both worlds, a shape that they're used to and also something that's more similar to the OG than recent releases. That said, they're both must-cops in my opinion, especially if you're a Jordan fan, and I like them both equally. Number 4, the Adidas Gazelle Indoor Bad Bunny. So I'm doing it again. I'm putting 2 shoes on the list when I probably should only put 1, but I'm putting both colorways of the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle Indoors because they're both fire. I've worn them both a bunch, and I like them both pretty much equally. So this shoe is a modification of the standard Adidas Gazelles. The Gazelles are also one of my favorite Adidas models, at least Adidas classic models. And this shoe features a leather upper instead of suede, or in this case, more of a nubuck upper. You've also got this asymmetrical toe area, which is different than the original Gazelles, and the shape is a little bit wider, which actually makes them more comfortable on feet. And of course, this is a Bad Bunny collaboration. I'm a pretty big Bad Bunny fan, as big as I can be without understanding the lyrics, but I really do like Bad Bunny, and I really like his collaborations, and both of these colorways are absolutely fire. You've got the San Juan that comes in blue, and the Benito colorway, which is his first name, that comes in more of a classic black, white, and gum color. And I really love this sort of low-key Adidas classic vibe. Like, you can throw these on with anything, it'll look good. This is my go-to Adidas sneaker whenever I want to rock a pair of Adidas sneakers and go for that Euro vibe, I guess. You also have a size tag on the heel, which is actually probably my least favorite detail. It's kind of a weird choice, but it doesn't ruin the shoe for me. Now, obviously, because these are a Bad Bunny collaboration, there is some hype behind them. The blue pair more so than the Benito colorway. The San Juan colorway I think resells for like $200, even though it's a $140 shoe, and then the Benito colorway probably goes for around retail. You can check them out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen to check resale prices. I'm not sure what they're gonna be at the time that you're watching this video, but right now, that's about what they go for. And honestly, if you're looking for a new pair of Adidas sneakers to rock on the daily, either one of these are a great way to go. I'd probably recommend this one because it's easier to wear with everything, but if you can rock the San Juans, go for it. Comfort-wise, they're not bad. They do fit wider than a standard pair of Gazelles because they are a wider cut, but there is really no padding in the midsole, so just be prepared for that if you like really soft and well-cushioned shoes. But overall, you can't go wrong with them. I love this as my classic Adidas go-to, and I'm gonna rock these both a bunch more. Number 3, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement 2024. So I just dropped a review on the sneaker. If you guys wanna check it out, there will be a link at the top of the screen. But this shoe is one of my favorite sneakers of all time. For me, it goes red ones, possibly Chicago's at number 2, and then these. These might be number 2 though. It kind of goes back and forth between the Chicago ones and these at the number 2 spot. But this shoe is absolutely incredible. It's a classic Air Jordan sneaker. It first released back in 1988, and now in 2024, we're getting the 7th release of the Black Cement 3s. It's actually the 6th retro, but the 7th overall release. Now, to be fair, like I said in my review, it's not a one-to-one remake of the original. The shape is not exactly right, but it is still close-ish to the OG. And it's very similar to the 2018 pair if you had that pair. I mean, it's almost identical to the 2018 pair except with some differences in the elephant print and in the shape of the tongue. But I mean, let's be real. If you're a Jordan fan, you can't go wrong with a pair of Black Cement 3s. This shoe is incredibly wearable, incredibly clean, and it's one of those classic, iconic Air Jordan silhouettes and colorways that every sneakerhead has to have if you're a Jordan fan. And in 2024, apparently they're dropping a bunch of them, so if you want a pair of these, I'd say this is the year to grab them, maybe double up, if you haven't yet, just because I didn't double up on the 2018 pair and regretted it until like 6 months ago when they announced this one, because I wanted a new pair that wasn't completely beat. My 2018 pair is beat, and now I have it. So maybe don't double up. I don't know when they're retroing these again though, so it might be a while. Who knows? Quality-wise, it's fine. It's nothing special. Obviously, you've got a lot of variation in the elephant print. It's also not as deep or as dark as the 2018 pair, which I think is actually true to the OG, but some people just don't like it. There's not really much else to say about the Black Cement 3s. I mean, it's a classic sneaker. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'd say grab it if you can, because even though there's going to be a lot of these, they're going to be very popular and probably not the easiest shoe in the world to get. It's probably going to be similar to the Bred Reimagined 4s and the Military Blue 4s in terms of popularity. Maybe even more so. Number 2, the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Supersonic. I've had tons of Vomero 5s over the last couple years, but this is the only colorway that I really felt like I needed and I was willing to pay resale for. I think I bought this pair for like $200. Resale price or retail price is $160. So it's not like a huge markup, but it is a markup. And the reason I grabbed this shoe is because I just think it's an incredibly clean colorway. You've got this tan mesh upper, accented by some tan hits, some reflective hits, white on the Nike swoosh, and then of course black on the toe, around the heel, and in the sock liner of the shoe. And a detail that I literally did not realize it had until I actually got this shoe in hand, wore it a couple times, and then was outside at night one time and looked down and saw that it actually glows in the dark. The midfoot cage of the shoe actually glows blue. I think there are other parts of the shoe that glow blue. I don't remember exactly which ones they are, but it is wild and it's a very, very strong glow. And actually now the blue Vomero 5 on the tongue and on the insole makes sense. I was wondering why they were there, because there was no blue hits on the shoe. Turns out it's because it glows blue. I didn't know. But even if you don't like the Supersonic colorway, the Vomero 5 is an absolutely incredible sneaker. It first released back in the 2000s as a running sneaker, and then was brought back in 2019 as part of the A Cold Wall collaboration. And now we're just getting tons of pairs of this shoe, and it's become like this huge lifestyle hit. And I'm pretty sure you can grab it in almost every colorway conceivable. Like, they've dropped so many colorways of this shoe, and it's pretty easy to find at like Nike outlets or Foot Lockers or wherever, even on sale too. But this colorway, for some reason, is the most popular. At least in terms of like regular GR colorways, and because of that you'd have to pay resale for it. But I've been wearing the sneaker a bunch, like a bunch. It's been my daily sneaker. Obviously I do try and wear a new sneaker every day, but this is the shoe that I throw on when I get home and I need to go back out to the store, or I think I actually wore this to a wedding a couple weekends ago. So it's not beat yet, but it's getting to that point. I definitely got to clean it up with some Apothecary wipes. Incredibly comfortable. You've got Cushlon foam in the midsole and a Zoom Air unit, and the upper is lightweight and breathable. And it looks amazing. That's the main thing. It looks amazing. I would wear a sneaker even if it's stupid uncomfortable if it looks really, really good. I hate to admit it, but it's true. This shoe is a bit of both. It's comfortable and it's good looking. Can't recommend it enough. Number 1, the Nike SB Dunk Low Futura. Yeah, you probably saw this coming. This is my sneaker of the year. I'm not gonna lie. And so far, nothing that's been announced or that's released has come close to beating this shoe for me. This shoe is just... the top. So as you can see, I've been wearing this shoe a bunch, and that's because even though it's a wild and crazy looking Nike SB Dunk Low collaboration, it's actually surprisingly wearable specifically for summer and even possibly winter. You've got some fall colors in there too. You can rock it all year round. If you're not familiar with this shoe, this is a collaboration with legendary artist Futura, who's also worked with Nike on some other incredible and iconic collaborations, some of which go for tens of thousands of dollars. And this is actually one of the only reasonably attainable pairs. I think I bought my pair for, well, I did buy it for way too much, but now you can grab pairs for like $350, $400. You can check them out through the links in the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. But this shoe has been my go-to, and for me this is kind of a return to those classic and iconic Nike SB Dunk Low collaborations that were such a staple of the mid-2000s and early 2010s. And yes, we have had some other great Nike SB Dunk Low collabs recently, but this one, in my opinion, is by far the best. The overlays of this sneaker feature Futura's art. You've got some really interesting asymmetrical details like the stitching, which is only on the right shoe on the medial side. You've got this little red metal eyelet right there, which is kind of random. I love the placement. You've got double colored laces, which are cool. And then of course the shoe is an entirely seemingly canvas makeup, which I didn't like at first, but the more that I wore the shoe, the more I'm like, okay, this flexes well, it feels good on foot, it actually doesn't crease as badly as leather does, so it's a shoe that may have more longevity. Beautifully I'm also not as worried about getting wet. Not that I'm trying to get this shoe wet, but if I did get it wet, it wouldn't be that big. Or if you want to match, obviously you've got Futura's signature right there on the heel of the lateral side, and then the iconic Futura Laboratories logo right there on the medial side, which I love. I never thought I'd have a sneaker with this logo on it. I think the last pair that dropped that had this logo was the Off-White, the Dunks that there's like maybe 20 pairs of that are going for like $20,000. Not saying that I want the shoe just because of the hype, but it is cool to have that. And as someone who's grown up loving Nike SB Dunk Lows but could never really have any of the crazy collaborations, having a detail that was such a staple of some of those super hyped up pairs, is cool. Also, the outsole is like icy blue, which you can see Futura signature right through the bottom of it. All around, just a beautifully made sneaker. It's crazy colored, which I really, really like, but you can also rock it with a more toned down fit, because this would be the eye-catching accent piece, or if you want to match, you know, one of the colors on the shoe, you can. It's an awesome collab, and again, not to ruin it, even though I've talked about it a million different times, this is my sneaker of the year, and unless something absolutely amazing drops before the end of the year, this is gonna be it for me. So, and actually, if you've watched all the way to the end of the video, let me know in the comment section down below what your sneaker of the year is. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't.